Yeah. Welcome back to episode 26 of the Pop and Wrestling Podcast with me, Coach 23. Earlier we talked about wrestling and War Games history, brief history, and my opinion about the match. So we're going to back. You take a U-turn, and after wrestling, we'll talk about the pop culture significance of the podcast. And yesterday at episode 24, we discussed about, superhero movies and MCU mostly, how it was, created or briefly started. Uh, then we ended when Disney purchased, the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe or Marvel Studio for like $4.5 billion. And now here we are. So yeah, the first phase of Marvel Cinematic Universe, started with Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, briefly for Incredible Hulk. Uh, Edward Norton was the guy. Forgot his name. He's a terrific and great actor. Forgot his name. It was just in my Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk, briefly, and Captain America: The First Avengers, and it was, uh, ended. Like we believe the first phase ended with this movie, The Avengers, and Iron Man 3, if my memory serves me correctly. So yeah, uh, like I said earlier or yesterday, it was like when Marvel, finally got the formula. Kevin Feige got the formula of we can have this share universe and develop it, to something big or something greater. And most of the concept that the MCU got, or to make it more in the now, more in the present compared to like for example like what happened in the past. For example, for Captain America's storyline, he was really battling Nazis. Although in the first Avengers, yeah, he was battling Nazis, but he was battling more directly against Hydra, which was like a branch of the Nazis, Nazi group back then. So they made it in the now. They made it present. Tony Stark in the comic books, instead of being hostage in uh the Middle East, he was being hostage somewhere in Vietnam or China or somewhere here in Asia. So they made it really different. They made it in the now. They actually got the concept of making it in the present storylines or present story age with the ultimate storyline or ultimate universe that I told yesterday when they made it like, Peter Parker younger again, teenager. You got, Captain America being, thawed from being frozen for like 60, 70 years, and he was like in the year 2000 got thawed out. Yeah, so that's what happened during this time. So yeah, after Disney purchased, after the success of the first Avenger movies, I told my wife, even because we were walking at Mega Mall, I believe, department store as a Mega Mall, and I saw this picture, the one above me, when the Avengers first assembled, and when they were like doing the circling thing, I told my wife, you know what? This movie will be the first $1 billion movie for Marvel. And I wasn't wrong. This was like the movie of that year, 2012. As much as I like Batman and The Dark Knight Rises, this movie trumps it to be as a fan. So, yeah, they created this universe, Marvel bought it, and you know what? We can make our own universe, make it bigger. Phase 2 came out, with, Thor the Dark World. For me, that my favorite Marvel movie of all time, besides the Avengers movies, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxies Volume 1 and 2. If we're talking about timeline, Doctor Strange, I believe, is part of that. Ant-Man, I believe, is part of that. Book ended with, yeah, Ant-Man book ended Phase 2. Avengers: Age of Ultron is actually one of my favorite Avengers as well. I like all the Avengers movie. I don't maybe have like a favorite one. If I have a favorite one, maybe Endgame because of the action itself. Story wise, I guess Infinity War is great. Avengers movie is great. Uh, Action wise, Avengers Age of Ultron was also great. So yeah, then you have your Phase 3, which was, I forgot a lot of Phase 3 movies. Civil War, Captain America Civil War, one of the best they had, which actually they were able to convince or talk to Sony, maybe we can do, we can borrow or we can share Spider-Man, and they did. They brought back Spider-Man to the Marvel side, with Tom Holland playing the role, and Phase 3 you have your Black Panther, you have, yeah, Civil War, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and the Avengers movies, Infinity War and Endgame. I believe it was bookended by Far From Home. So the Infinity Saga, as they call the first three phases of Marvel movies, it was really that high. It was really that good. They were able to integrate the storylines from one movie to the other, to the following movie, because of end credits and all, or some maybe a snide, Easter egg, if you're watching Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man movie, uh, you were able to see someone reading a newspaper with the Sokovia issue happening between Avengers and Ultron. So they may were able to tag it now. So it became really a billion-dollar franchise in fast, that fast after like 10 years, after a decade. Movies are getting $1 billion worth of uh gross ticket sales. Avengers movies, Captain Marvel was like one of the first female movies, the starred by a female character, that superhero even, to get like $1 billion in a movie franchise or in a movie. So there were Marvel and Disney were really having a high. So my take on that is great. I mean, it's great. Like I said, I'm a TV buff as well. I like watching TVs and watching like series every week on a weekly basis. So it's like the concept of Marvel got that, but instead of us doing like a TV series, let's do a movie series, like one or two movies or three movies a year that's connected with each other. So, like I said, the second part of this podcast, of this episode, is superhero fatigue real? It's actually a double-edged sword question that I can answer as both yes and no for both parties. When I said both parties, why? Because it's like wrestling. I'm going to integrate a little bit of wrestling here. WWE wants the casual fans. They respect the niche audience of the die-hard wrestling fans that will always be there, but they also want to get those casual audience, because casual audience bring more eyeballs, not just to their products, but to their sponsors. Casual audience will be me, or not me, maybe a friend of mine who doesn't watch wrestling. Hey, let's come watch wrestling, and that fan will, hey, I also eat at Domino's, or also drink Pepsi or Coke. That's a casual fan. I'm a niche. I'm a casual fan. Consider myself, because I'm a consumer. Like I said, when I discuss the business of wrestling or differences between fans, I am a consumer fan instead of just a viewer. I pay for what I want to watch and what I want to wear. This T-shirt example. So Marvel also has that. They have the niche audience, which was, I can consider mine as well, because I also read comics since the late 80s until now. I'm a consumer one. I consider myself a consumer audience. And then uh, you have your viewers. That just for the viewers, for the casual fans, for the Marvel, I call them. This is not a derogatory. This is not a negative way to say you, but you are bandwagon fans. What are bandwagon fans? That they just saw Iron Man for the first time in 2008, and they say this is the best Marvel movie ever. What, you haven't seen Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3? You haven't seen the X-Men? You haven't seen Fantastic Four? Ghost Rider, Daredevil, you know what? Blade? For you to say that Iron Man is the best Marvel movie ever? And you were just surprised that, oh, Iron Man is a superhero? Those are bandwagon fans. Meaning they just became fans when the MCU started. Sorry, but that's the truth. You are bandwagon fans. It's like, let's talk NBA parlance. What? Steph Curry is great around 2013, 2014, no, 2014, 2015. Guy can shoot. The dude was playing like for 2 years before that, and you just saw. And when they become champion or became champion, you were like, "Yay! Golden State Warriors is one of the best team ever." You are bandwagon fans. Sorry to say, but yes, it's not a negative way for me. I know I sound sarcastic or condescending, but yeah, you were our bandwagon fans because if you like something, something, you should be liking it before it's like blown out of proportion, like the Marvel movies. So yeah, so like I said, it's a double-edged sword if superhero fatigue is real or not, because it could be yes, it could be no. I'm a consumer one. I am toying between the line of being just a viewer and buying stuff because I still buy comic books. Said still have my action figures. It's my Captain America one, Sam Wilson. I'm that. I'm the consumer one, and I'm not really fatigued at all after watching because to be fair, for my side of this, like I said, this is just my opinion. I'm not speaking on behalf of the consumer fans of Marvel or superhero or comic book movies or TV shows. I'm not fatigued at all because this, if you're at my age at 41 years old, turning 42, and you were a fan as young as 7, 8, 9 years old, 5 years old even, and I was dying that I want these people or I want these characters to be brought to life. And they were. Chris Evans as Captain America, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. I wanted this since I was a kid. Why should I be tired of it? I want this. This is like, if you're asking me, if you're going to say it's maybe a midlife crisis, then call it a midlife crisis. But I wanted this since I was young. Why should I be, you know, why should I be tired of watching it? Why should be fatigued about this? I wanted this. I wanted this since I was young. I can't help but reiterate that. And now we have it. And people are saying, nah, we're tired of watching it. Storyline. After Tony Stark died, they just became tired of watching Marvel movies. So you're not really a fan of the Marvel movies. You're just a fan of Robert Downey Jr. And if you're a fan of Robert Downey Jr., I will just tell you guys to watch Chaplin when he portrayed Charlie Chaplin. Only You when he was a rom-com with Marisa Tomei, Aunt May of Spider-Man. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. U.S. Marshals when he was the bad guy there. To the Sherlock Holmes movies. Watch those movies. Because if you said those of the fans who are say, I'm not going to watch a Marvel movie again because, Tony Stark died. Then yeah, you're not a Marvel fan. You might be an Iron Man fan, but do you think that the Marvel, universe will stop because of Iron Man dying? No. They have their second saga now, the multiverse saga. Which some people say that it's not really as big as the Infinity Saga. I agree with you. Because if I'm going to put this in a storyline or a timeline perspective, and right now MCU, Marvel Studios is doing it in reverse. Why I'm saying it in reverse? Because they started with the superhero, age of superheroes, your Avengers, your Spider-Man, your Fantastic Fours. They introduced X-Men, the mutants. X-Men then became popular. Then yeah, Multiverse came out. So they're doing it in reverse because if you're a Marvel fan like me during the 80s and 90s, Mutant Saga it's like the first saga, then the Multiverse Saga with Secret Wars, then the Infinity Saga with Thanos and the Infinity Gems or Infinity Stones, Infinity Gems in the comics. So they're doing it in reverse. So they made it big during the first saga or the Infinity Saga. And yeah, maybe to some people, yeah, we're tired of watching it because Iron Man died, Captain America is an old man, and Captain America now is a black dude, which was Falcon, which is also in comics. Although yeah, I think they should went to Bucky first, but yeah, that's fine. Falcon is fine as Captain America because they already made it Falcon as Captain America as well in the comics. So I don't have any beef with that. And I'm also looking forward with Brave New World. So don't be tired, especially if you want this. If you wanted this, especially for the fans, because like I said, why yes that it's superhero fatigue is real. It's because for those niche audience, those casual ones that just became bandwagon because this movie is great, this movie is great, this movie was great, this movie is great. Oh, this movie is, I'm tired. I'm not going to watch it because yeah, one character, two character, three characters are out. I'm not going to watch it anymore. Why won't you give a chance to those other characters? I like Florence Pugh's Pugh. Florence Pugh's portrayal as the new Black Widow with Yelena. I like where Bucky's story is, coming for moving forward. Captain America, Sam Wilson as well. I like Shang-Chi. I'm one of the minority who like Eternals. I like the Black Widow movie, the prequel to before Civil War. I like those movies. Yeah, Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. I like that movie. Like, not really love. I like that movie. Um and now they're introducing. I even like Marvel, the Marvels. You know, Brie Larson, Miss Marvel, and forget what character, Monica Rambeau. Um, I like those movies. Deadpool and Wolverine, I like it. And now they're integrating the mutant verse or mutant saga with the incorporation of Deadpool because Deadpool is part of part of the multiverse. So why are fans being fatigued for like something that you wished that you were seeing? And now one of the responses because yeah, supposedly for the second saga of Marvel, the multiverse saga, Kang was supposed to be like the big bad. Big bad meaning he was supposed to be the Thanos of this saga. That he started with Loki. He started with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Then the Council of Kangs was there until an unfortunate incident with between Jonathan Majors and his ex-girlfriend, I guess, that got him fired. And now the again, this is for the bandwagon fans, and I'm not saying it's a negative in a negative way. I'm just speaking the truth. They announced that what, we're going to have a different big bad for the second half of the multiverse saga. They introduced Doctor Doom, and who is going to play Doctor Doom? Robert frigging Downey frigging Jr. RDJ is back. It's no longer Iron Man, it's Doctor Doom. And people were asking, why? Why are you bringing him back as Doctor Doom now? Shouldn't you bring him back as Iron Man? Iron Man died. Tony Stark died. Multiverse, yeah, we can bring him back in your multiverse. But you know what? I understand Robert Downey Jr.'s when he was perspective when he was interviewed. The reason I returned is I want to play complex characters. Tony Stark was a complex character. Uh, Sherlock Holmes was a complex character. The one he played, the general played, or he played at Oppenheimer when he won his first Oscar, was a complicated character. And when they, then Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers, signed in to come back as well. Let's bring Doctor Doom. Let's ask RDJ if he's willing to come back. And RDJ said, you know what? Doctor Doom is a complex character, and I can't wait for him to see RDJ be that big bad. Because if he's as good or as great when he was Iron Man and Tony Stark, and he was great at that role. Because, like I said, if you're going to read the early Tony Stark Iron Man stories, it's not a same. It's not even similar to Robert Downey Jr. The only similarity is that they were both addicted to alcohol. Uh, and now Robert Downey Jr. is sober. And now he said, you know what, Doctor Doom is. I can't wait for him to see if he is great as a bad guy as well. Because there are times when he was Iron Man that he was really freaking annoying, especially in Civil War. I don't think he was at the right. I guess I like more grounded heroes like Captain America. I was Team Cap, but yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm not tired at all of watching these movies because, like I said, I have dreamed, I have hoped for these movies to come out. And I'm not a bandwagon fan. I am a fan, a consumer who will watch this through and through. And like I said, that's why I don't promote illegal streaming, illegal downloading because if you pay to watch in a cinema, in a theater for these movies, they will keep continue doing this. If you're disappointed at the one movie, then buy another ticket to another one. So you can help out, you know what, maybe we can change this. There are heavy rumors right now that supposedly there will be a Young Avengers movie. Young Avengers, those people who are relatively young. Your America Chavez from Multiverse of Madness, Miss Marvel, Billy from Agatha All Along, uh, Patriot from like Captain America, Isaiah Bradley's grandson, to your Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld's Hawkeye. They were supposed to do a movie about that, but now they're doing a TV series instead. That's the heavy rumor. Watch even the Disney Plus TV series. I suggest you do so because you will not be disappointed if you. I do suggest you guys watch, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Moon Knight, what else? Echo, and next year Daredevil will be coming out. So watch those shows. Watch those movies. I know some of our people are disappointed about comic book movies in general. Even for me, I'm not saying they're perfect. Even the DC side, I'm a fan of the DC. I'm more of a fan of a DC comic than a Marvel one. Batman, like I said, was my favorite. Is my favorite superhero character, comic book character. I even hated it when they made the Joker movie. And nothing against, Joaquin Phoenix. He did an awesome bang up job and he deserved to win that Oscar when he won the best actor for Joker, but he wasn't really my Joker. My Joker was Heath Ledger. My Joker was Jack Nicholson. Even Jared Leto did a performance as Joker. Joaquin Phoenix Joker is not really a Joker. He's not Batman's Joker. He is a Joker, but he's not a Joker. He's not the Joker. So yeah, there are times you can be sad, you can be tired, but that's the thing. You will not give this movie studios a chance if you said that what, just because one movie suck, I'm not gonna watch anymore. That's pretty pointless and stupid. Then why watch anyway, right? And for me, I have seen most of the Marvel movies that was produced in a cinema even after pandemic. Your Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians, Doctor Strange, the Marvels. I've seen those in the theater. And did I like them? Yeah. I said, "Ooh, this is great." There are some that, yeah, first showing is not really great. Like I said, the Eternals. When I first saw the Eternals in not at Disney Plus, I was like, "This is not a good movie." Then I tried watching it like a month or 2 months ago, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is entertaining." It's all about perspective, and I hope this podcast changed yours because you're not giving Marvel, you're not giving Disney, you're not giving DC or Warner Brothers a chance if you say, you know what, since your last movie sucked, I'm not gonna watch it anymore. You're not giving them a chance to, to change your views, to change your minds. I'm excited for next year's Superman. I know it's not Henry Cavill anymore. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. Man of Steel was probably one of my favorite Superman movies of all time. But I'm looking forward at James Gunn's version of Superman, David Cornswet, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what DC brings to the table with Creatures Commando next week. So give this, give the if you watch this from like the face from the first phase, first movie of the saga, the Infinity Saga. Give them a chance to prove they can still hook you up with phase two or Multiverse Saga, and probably after the Multiverse Saga, the Mutant Saga. Give them a chance to do so. I can guarantee you that you will not, get tired of it. That's why I'm going to go back to the wrestling talk. That's why I still try to watch AEW every week because I'm like, okay, I don't think I have to be tired because I am a wrestling fan. and I don't want to be tired of doing so. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm not just a WWE fan. I like TNA, I like New Japan, I like AEW to succeed. That's why I'm not tiring. I wanted this. You guys wanted this, or if you think so that I thought I wanted this, then it's not Marvel's issues anymore, or the comic book company's issues anymore. It's your issue anymore now. So, like I said, I know this is not this, like I said, this is not a negative way for me to say it, but I hope the bandwagon fans, and I'm saying it in a positive way, keep continue watching. At the end of the day, you will still be entertained. You will not be, not really entertained for like, at least for one movie, you'll be entertained for like 20, 30, 40% of the movie until you say it sucks. Like the Joker movie. I didn't see Joker 2 in the theater. I have it in my hard drive now. I have it in my laptop. I haven't seen it fully yet. It's not because I've seen terrible reviews. It's because I'm focusing on something different first. So, but I'll give it a chance some other time. So yeah, that's it. That's our Marvel talk for episode 26 of the Pop and Wrestling podcast. Probably tomorrow we'll do another episode for comic book or pop culture episode. Probably because tomorrow is Monday Night Raw. So it's Monday Night Raw review. So yeah, thank you for taking your time and watching. Hope you subscribe, you like the videos, you keep continue watching. I'm almost at 500 views for like 25, 26 episodes now, and I'm really, really grateful for you guys about watching this podcast and giving me a chance to share my insight and reviews, my point of views. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you watching it, even for like 10, 5, 15, 20 minutes. I do appreciate you guys. I'm truly grateful. So, yeah, this is episode 26 of the Pop and Wrestling Podcast with me, Coach 23. See you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw review. Adios.